Hello everybody, this is Simon with some more Dark Souls 3. I hope you're all ready for some deep dungeon diving action because I sure as hell am not. Just kidding. I don't find the dungeon to be quite as insufferable as many people do. Much like most things in the game, I just don't have that strong feelings on things. Can be a little annoying I guess, but mostly if I get lost. These guys are a super trap. If you run to follow them and quickly kill them, maybe, then well, this guy happens, and then the fire witch happens, and then you're super sad. To be quite honest though, forgot about this guy. Well, let's see how the hammer deals with them. I want to test if they will get frostbitten, but apparently they just stayed into it, so that's nice. As you can also see, compared to last time, I switched up the equipment a tiny bit, so I have something quick in the left hand, something smashy in the right, which makes perfect sense. Should have done this from the start. Oh wait, now it's L2. Yeah. And now I can actually even throw it. So that's fun. Nope. Maybe you can frostbite. I think I did. Might have not though. Was hard to tell, judging from all the damage I was doing. Um, yes. Anyway, this is basically this entire area taken care of. As I said, it looks far more impressive than it is in practice from the outside. One more thing though. Amazing. I love it. But I think this is the first rusted gold cone you can get, um, unless you take it as a starting gift. This area has a bit more bite to it, to, you know, trap you again if you're going for this large shard, maybe. But that's basically it. That is this entire building, which, you know, as I said, it looks imposing as hell. Looks like there is tons of shit in there. There is not. There's nothing. There is one room. Hello. Good thing we are still embedded, huh? Nope, I now have hyper armor. Then we have our first red guaranteed. Boop! Safe taken out. Now this worked exactly how I wanted it to. The Murakumo, I was always disappointed when I first tried it out in this game. In Dark Souls 2 it's amazing, and there is nothing here again. Not even Alva spawning point, which would make more sense I think, but alas. Anyway, I was really disappointed by the Murakumo when I first tried it out. Maybe because I wanted to make it crystal and that sucked back then, but even then just didn't have the damage compared with the somewhat slowish moveset, which I really wanted it to have. But doesn't really matter, it's nothing for me at the current moment anyway. So, the dungeon. The dungeon can be quite confusing, it can also be quite hard. It does have jump scares, um, which I don't know. I'm also not one of these people who absolutely hate jump scares and think they cheapen the game experience or anything. I think it's maybe a little weird that they put them in, but it's okay, like whatever. They tried something here. It made me jump the first time. They don't overdo it, I think, and well, that's basically it. So this guy here shows you very quickly the gimmick of the jailers, which is lowering your max HP, and which is why people really hate this area, because craps again. Because it just doesn't feel bad to have a health bar vanish that quickly. Baiting souls are always just such an insult, like haha, you fell for a trap, idiot. Um, but in reality, the jailers themselves, they don't do much. they can't do much to you. They will never do much to you. It's sad that it doesn't one-hit them. And if you just bum rush them and take them out, in most cases it's not a problem. There's one room which is a problem, and that is one that has like 10 of them. um, but I always go ranged for that room because it's just not fun otherwise. But I do have a javelin for that now, so that's nice. Um, this is a room you shouldn't open probably because from now on that guy will always come out and harass you. But it's not too big of a deal anyway. This one here also looks a little bit daunting. Oh, just knock down the other guy. I don't know. Anyway, this might make things a little harder, might not. I don't know. When you first come around this corner and that guy is here and you're like, oh my god, is he going to do bad things to me? Then you get intimidated and maybe wait a little too longer. Then these three guys come and try to harass you. But it didn't work for me. Smarter than that, I guess. Or not. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Oh no, not again. This is locked. There's a lot of locked gates and doors and stuff like that here, which is fitting because it's a prison, you know. There is also one which I always forget to check, but it's not here. Where do you come from? See, he didn't get staggered. Maybe because it was the second swing? I don't know. We'll have to try that out again. This one here might also be dangerous if you just don't realize that this guy is here who's glowing red and making ominous noises and farting and just run down to take out these cages, I guess. Otherwise you could just also just attack him. But this can go wrong. I've had it go wrong in stupid ways. uh, like always in Dark Souls, you should take things for granted. There is another room on the other side which is a little more daunting. So, well, that worked out perfectly. Good thing the hammer does have that much range. This one here is also locked. Yeah, I think this is the one which you always forget to check again. Mostly because, again, I get confused by which side of the room I'm actually on. Is there a trap here? There is a trap here. Never just go to an item without checking the corners. And that goes without saying. I think this guy is one of the leech dudes which grab you and then give you leeches. And you haven't... there you can unlock this, yes. And you probably haven't had a torch equipped in ages, so this might get you good. This one too, maybe? I don't know, not gonna let him. There's a lot of them here. Ah, this one is! All of them are, okay. Well, I guess I will get my torch out. Also fuck off, please. Thank you. I'm not actually leeched up. And I didn't get any damage from that. What's the fucking point then? I don't know. Why do you keep asking this question? I don't know. Get it together, Dark Souls 3. So, where are we here now? Alright, this guy. If you just open this willy-nilly, then you might be surprised by him. If you take a good hard look at him, then you can prepare for fighting him, I guess. Now it's definitely much time. I really should have gotten my torch out for that. Oh well, because something which I just recently learned as a valid tactic, if you put some fire damage on someone who you just frostbit, just any source of fire damage, poking them with a torch is enough, then the frostbite immediately resets and you can apply frostbite again. Which is great for enemies that are frostbitten quickly but still do have a lot of health, like Black Knights for example. They get frostbitten in one hit. If I then poke them with the torch, I can frostbite them again. Might be a good tactic, might also be a little too clunky, I don't know. Anyway, this is everything that you can get down here, and I keep checking and rechecking it because I'm an idiot who keeps confusing directions, and then I never check down there. And that for that item after I got the key, and what you have to do is go over here. You might be disencouraged by that one jailer, which I somehow got the attention of to get back there, but it's not a super big deal anyway. This guy here, he always fucks me up somehow. I don't know why. The running attack which throws me over? Huh. Might be. Anyway, I've had the weirdest amounts of trouble with him. Like, I bum rush him like I do everyone else, but by the time I get there, usually, this time I guess I got a little luckier, half my health is gone, and then he pokes me and instant kills me with his hold down attack. Why did I kick here? Because of the lag? Maybe? Maybe because I'm an idiot. Who knows? Oh, amazing. Good thing I got my torch out, huh? Fuck off. Also, I forgot that I already had it equipped. Anyway, this is not the way forward. Way forward is in here, if I remember correctly. Oh, yes, this hole. You have to take this hole, otherwise you can't progress. Surprising amount of players doesn't find that, but I'm not judging. Sometimes you just miss things. It happens. But let's go back here first. I've been here before. Wonderful. Somehow got confused, I'm sorry, because, you know, spatial relations. I think this corridor is longer than I think when I run down there and kill this guy. I'm always like, I ran by 2 doors? Really? Okay. I was just so confused that usually there is only one bridge, and, you know, there isn't. So anyway, you have to go through this hole, and then you can go from the other side of the hole there, from the other side of the door, which looks like a shortcut for far later, but isn't. Anyway, hi. No, let's not. This guy doesn't do anything. You can kill him. Maybe you feel bad about yourself, maybe you don't. I don't. He's ugly. Also, someone is making insufferable noises. I thought it was him, but it wasn't. Sadness. So, what you also can do to fuck over your sense of orientation is to just jump down all the time. It's an easy way to get rid of the jailers, maybe, but it's a good way to get lost completely. And this is how you avoid going through these 2 doors ever again. I don't know. It's a little weird. There's like they force you to find this hole here in the wall, and then make it so that you don't have to take the hole again. Thanks, I guess. It's just a little strange in my opinion. Anyway, there's one jailer here, which you can take out with the same tactic as the other one. And I guess if you fall down, then try to get back up, then you have a problem because these jailers all see you. Oh. And there is one more, which fortunately missed me. He missed me too. I'll take it. I'll take it. Anyway, this can be a tough one to fall down to. Oh, cool, I immediately should make a soldering iron build because it is so incredibly rare, shouldn't I? No, fuck that. And this is another reason why I keep confusing the other item location, because this guy here is aggressive, by the way, because these 2 rooms look almost the same. And there is something substantial here. If you're going for that, a simple infusion can be pretty good. Thought this was a summon sign for a second. Which might actually be a valid offhand for me if I want to keep using the javelin, because then I can keep throwing it. Let's think about that at some other point. But yeah, they're one hits. Stop hitting them so often, son. It doesn't become you. But yeah, this is just opposite the other room where the door was actually locked, which we will have to go back for. Now this door here, this does open from the other side, and this is a definite shortcut for far later in the level actually, and it will be very welcome. For now though, Crystal Lizard, which for sure isn't a trap, much like it is in Tower of Latria. I mean, you can even see this guy here poking around, you really have no excuse. But I want the Crystal Lizard's contents anyway. And now I want this guy. Scale, maybe I even have enough scales now to upgrade the hammer, this would be nice. I need 4. I have 3. Oh, okay. Maybe I can exchange some more crow stuff because I haven't yet done most of them, I think. Anyway, this is the way out of the prison. And I think we have seen everything we can see so far. Ah yeah, we can kill this creamy dude here, finally. Shut the fuck off. Ah yeah, and we even get the tailbone short sword as a guaranteed drop, which is a fun weapon, I think. I've never used it. But it has an interesting special move. What's neat? 14 dex, who cares? Terrible scaling, but doesn't really matter. It is a short sword, alright. It's rather short. I think it's more of a dagger, actually, come to think of it. Yeah, it is a dagger. So why I call it short sword, nobody knows. And I think it has, yes, this weapon art, which I can't use because I don't have the dex, but it basically releases a shockwave, much like all of the tailbone weapons do. A possible reference to the dragon weapons from Dark Souls 1, which all had these shockwave attacks too. These very cool R2 moves. Um, but yeah, wasn't there a way to unlock this already? Maybe I forget, maybe I don't, whatever. For now, let's just take up these jokers here. These are the same as the jailers above, but without soldier irons and the health takedown, so they're complete jokes. And this seems like it's set up for an ambush while you run at the ranged guy, and then suddenly there is one more. But actually, the ranged guy is terrible at his job, so it shouldn't really phase you too much. Cool. Oh, 3 firebombs. Awesome. Keep thinking that I could already have gotten a key up there. Ah, doesn't matter. Anyway. Question mark, huh? This is a mimic. We're going to try to farm something of him now. Because I feel like doing it at some point, and it's probably a good idea to do that before I run out of mimics. Don't have a gold serpent ring now already. Why am I looking for it? Where is it even? Ah, right, it's later on. You know what? You get to live for a second before I drain myself of all mimics. No, there's a ton more, but still. This is also a little weird area because you can choose a lot of different progression routes. By far the worst of which is taking on all of these dudes. Not that it's going to be much of a problem, he says, dying. Um, but they are far too passive to really cause much of an issue. I think they wanted to avoid them rushing you down in a kind of mob encounter mentality to not make it like super hard, because like 5 of them hitting you at the same time would mean certain instant death. But on the other hand, the way they are staggered now, if you just stand your ground here, then it will take ages for the ranged guys to even show up, as demonstrated here, and you won't have much of an issue at all. There is one more here, and that's it then. And he pretends to be cool with his harp and stuff, but it's really, really not a problem. Cool. So yeah, you can take all of these holes here, and no, not this one, but definitely this one. Can you open this door actually? No. You can take a lot of these holes here and go there in this center room here, which is a surprise, as we're going to see soon, hopefully. Um, but you can also go down here. This is the second one I was thinking of. Might be better, might be worse, I don't know. Or you can take this ladder here. The choice is basically up to you, and the first time you're here, you really won't know what is the best choice, but you might want to take the ladder anyway, because the other ones are one-way trips. So if you go out here and don't like what you're seeing, you know, you can always decide to take a different route. If you fall down from there, you can actually completely skip by this, because you can go up there and then run downstairs there, which you might see from the start, which is good. If you take the other one, you can fall down the other side of the giant. We're gonna get you later, don't worry. And run behind him all the way there. And then you can also skip him. What you can also do, put on the cat ring and survive this fall. I'm not super sure about that though, don't try it at home. And I think we're going to take the first hole, skip the giant for now, and then slash at his ankles. Because I really don't feel like fighting him up here and redoing all of the other garbage. If I die. Though again, think I missed the key for the shortcut somewhere. Doesn't matter though. I will get it later. I will have to return anyway. So, if you fall down here, you can immediately fall onto the crystal lizard, and if you ever hit the giant, then he wakes up, so you have a tough decision to make, because the crystal lizard will of course run into the giant then. So, either you hit the crystal lizard and wake up the giant, or you let it run and just pass by quietly. And this is where you come from the other hole. Finally. I think that will tie this build together. This might send a shiver down every Dark Souls 1 player's spine, because going into a sewer-ish area where 3 rats are coming at you is kind of a nightmare scenario, because that is very reminiscent of a similar thing where under the bridge leading from the undead settlement to the parish, not undead settlement, what am I saying, Burg to the parish, you of course have your first possible encounter with poison, and 3 rats here, and I think most people died there the first time, poison slowly ticking down, not knowing what to do. Anyway, there is another mimic here. Just gonna spoil this real quick, because I don't care. But it's too out of the way, so we're not going to use it. I like this one because it's a Dark Souls 2 style mimic. Now let's try this. Remove the frostbite. It's probably going to die before I frostbite him. Whatever, this is how you would do that, I guess. Pretty useful if you're into that kind of thing. But the old cell key is of course far more important. And now we suddenly get a very nasty cursey surprise. There's a lot of them. That was close. Closer than I cared for, actually. Oh oh. Oh oh. Thought I had at least. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I was locked into the animation for far longer than I cared for. Oh, there is even more here. Cool. I never had this much tense trouble with them. Either they killed me immediately because I was an idiot, or I took them out really easily, but somehow I was not prepared for this. I think the problem is that I expected them to die, and they didn't, because they survived with like 3 health. There we go. If there are 2 more alive, then I don't care. Let's get the ranged weapon ready again. Another item which is a surefire way to signify that you're in for a nasty surprise here. The nasty surprise doesn't stop, there's 2 of them. Fortunately, we're hammering again. Though I guess with the shield and the poke, it still wouldn't have been that much of an issue. This is the room which I was talking about, which has the billions of jailers. You could see them for a second, but I'm just gonna quickly duck into here. Not bother with them for now, because I mean, you would have to be a lunatic to immediately go for this. I mean, I recommend your bravery then, but if you duck down here instead, also careful, of course, because it's been a while since the last bonfire, which I appreciate, by the way. It's rare that you have these tense moments in Dark Souls 3. It's more of a getting from A to B in a relatively short trip through Fuckville, but in this case, it actually is quite a long trip. You can run through it relatively quickly if you know exactly what you're doing, but if you're slowly exploring the prison, then probably you will be completely out of Estus, or almost by now. And yeah, it's not super fun. This dragon here is of course a hint for something later on. The way he's looking here. And these guys here are all talking about gestures. And the first time I was here, I was trying everything fucking gesture in the menu, and it's like, do I have to wait like 5 minutes like in Dark Souls 1? I don't know. Do I have to sit down like these guys are apparently doing? But no, you have to have a specific gesture. Not clever enough for that, and this is something which you cannot have right now, so I was a little bit peeved about that, because there is no way to tell that you do need a specific gesture. But whatever. We'll get this on the way down. And this is actually a very, very convenient shortcut. Obviously, it's an elevator all the way back up here. Isn't that nice? So, the only issue is, which I always have, is just finding back down here again. But it's not that big of a deal. I don't think. I didn't get it by accident, right? Okay. What's that? Okay. I think it's called the jailbreaker's key. It should be somewhere. Maybe on the other side. I will take a quick look because I've depopulated the area now. And maybe I want to restock anyway and then just quickly run to the shortcut. We'll see. Oh, this might be it. It is it. Wonderful. Okay. I knew I was not going crazy here. And with this we can actually take on the giant, because if we do fuck up, then it doesn't matter, I can return rather quickly and get my souls and stuff, though this is definitely time for a level up or two. Depends. I know it's not super semi-stream conducive, I guess, to do this all the time, but I don't care. It's what I like doing, and I always get super nervous when streamers have these insane amounts of souls with them, and just like, I have to press on to not disappoint the audience or whatever. Which I understand, but sadly this is not a stream, it's a live let's play at the moment. And I could edit stuff out, but I'm too lazy for that, and it's not like people watch this anyway. The last two videos haven't been watched by a single person. If you hear this now, then I commend you and I thank you for your attention at this very moment. You specifically, you're great. But it doesn't really matter. As I said, I would have played this anyway, and this is just a way for me to make the playing a little bit more varied, I guess, because I've played a lot of Dark Souls 3 and now all of my characters are gone and I want to play one up again, but it would be rather boring if I didn't get to do this extra talking about stuff. And again, if you do actually watch this and get some enjoyment out of it, then thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you have a good time. Anyway, back to the dungeon we go. Considering posting this in a low effort thread on something awful though, just occurred to me right now. So if you binge watch my stuff from there and are now wondering what the fuck I'm talking about because all my videos have at least 30 views, then yeah, this is your explanation. So the jailbreaker's key lets you get directly straight through the middle here. Don't have to deal with any of this bullshit. The only thing you had to do was go across the bridge once, and you can skip the entire prison. It's a bit of a weird decision in my opinion, because as I said, you don't ever have to go to the lower level. You can just go here and fall down here, and that's it. You're done. You even get an awesome kill for it if you're successful. Oh yeah, these stagger by the way if you roll into them. This is also why I know that you can get to this mimic here rather quickly in comparison to the other one. where getting to him is kind of an ass. So where is the crystal? Here's the crystal. Yep. Chunk. Okay. Oops. See, this is why I didn't want to bother with the giant. He deals a little bit more damage than the other one in the cathedral, and you have a very, very narrow space for avoiding him. It shouldn't be a gigantic issue to do it, but it's probably smarter to just skip by him quietly and do it then again from the bottom, because you can keep hacking away at his ankles. Like did I do it for another one? Oh wow, that actually worked. I don't think he actually ever pushed me off before. What this means, of course, is that now you have to walk back up, and this is where the jailer's looking in the wrong direction basically comes up again. Because now this guy will see you, and possibly if you don't run well, these other guys will catch you, and you're gonna have a bad time. What we are going to do, however, now is just quickly. Let's go to the shortcut, which I think is on the other side of the bridge, and this is where I always get lost. Wondering why they keep missing me. I'm the luckiest person in the universe. Maybe down here. Yes! Okay. Finally I have some kind of muscle memory for this place. Because I had to take this often and it still took me ages to figure out the correct route to go. Ooh, okay. Don't forget this item. Oh. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I forgot it until halfway down, so this is why I didn't realize that I was maybe on the wrong side. Lightning Blade is really good though, if you are a little bit faithy, of course, but getting this here is very nice, because getting Dark Moonblade otherwise will take you longer. This is probably not even better, and it's just a gigantic pain in the ass. Unless you want all the achievements, but I already have them, so fuck it. So let's go at this smartly. I think you can actually just skip them and then release someone to take care of them for you. But you have to go through this malformed baby hall instead. So let's just try this out. Better than throwing away all my Estus. This is the shockwave from the tailbone sword, I guess. Oh, no. Where did you come from? One of the few instances of acid damage in the game. Not that it matters too much, because I think your weapons are practically unbreakable. No, okay. Gotta admit though, this one is an item which many people would love to be early in the game, in the way, because now you can finally infuse stuff with... it's just a rare drop. Okay. Didn't even realize. Now I can finally infuse stuff with hollow gems for a luck build. But having it earlier would obviously totally break the game or something. I don't know. Another mimic. Oops. Pivoted a bit more than I thought he would. But wow, it actually lived. The range is not big enough. There we go. I think it's not super worth it for this guy. Oh wow, it actually is. On most other characters I would probably say, oh, don't know what to use the scales on, but in this case, yeah, I do know what to use the scales on. So I did aggro like half the room. Wonderful. Or not. Okay, so I guess this is how you skip them. Anything here? I think there is one more jump scare back here, so prepare yourself. Yep, and that's it. Xanthus Ashes, of course, give you the Xanthus set to buy, which is fun if you're into that kind of thing. the helm, wow, fuck. The one important thing we already got from Hazel, of course. Somehow my health didn't drain yet. So this guy, you can release him and then hopefully he will fuck up the jailers for you. I guess, maybe, I don't know. Now the health is draining. Let's just get the fuck out of here for now. And maybe the problem will take care of itself. I don't know how long they follow me. Too long. But there is stuff happening up there. Okay. Are they draining this guy's health or is he actually actively killing them? I wonder. Let's take this slow and steady, and if I want to go ranged I can. Well, I mean, they are fighting. 550. How much is one of them worth? Okay, I guess they just took that guy out, and that's it. Good showing, good showing. I mean, as I said, some people have said that, okay, you absolutely can easily deal with jailers, you just have to release this guy and he will take care of all the business for you. Well, apparently he had some trouble. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Consistency is a sucker's game, but it doesn't really matter either way. There is nothing here except for releasing that guy. Now for something which is also rather easily missed. Behind this guy here. There's a locked cell, so keep that in mind for later. You can pillage Alwa's equipment if you took him out. And then you can take one more ember. That's it, I think. Now where is all of them? Weren't there like 200 dudes? They're all in there. Okay. Well then, let's not bother with them, and I found a new tactic for dealing with this room, which is not using ranged weapons, but instead fucking around on the backside of it. Wonderful. I think this is more what is intended, but I mean, you want to explore freely, and you always feel like, are they going to come from behind if I take my time? But by now I know where everything is, so the exploration aspect is kind of a moot point. And I know also by now that I would hear them coming, see them coming, and where they generally are, so everything is fine. It's a little sad that this guy sticks out so much, but the first few times I don't think that you really see him, and it's neat that he doesn't just come out of nowhere. It's this guy here. Then you really should go back, probably. I like the allusion to the Dark Souls 1 gargoyles here with this. I mean, obviously he is a gargoyle, but just in the general sense of, oh my god, something big is coming, which I didn't expect. And now I'm gonna have a bad time. Except if you have a hammer, of course, because that equalizes things always. But I also generally like how they fight. They have a variety of moves which can trip you up, but they have cleared health. They don't have many instant no wind up things. They can't just be taken out super easily because they can block with their wings, which is also kind of a nice move for them to have, but they don't do it all the time. You can stagger them, even with smaller weapons, it's relatively easy. Um, so that's fair in that regards. And they have also some moves which leave them wide open where you can just punish them and they don't have like an instant, oh no, I'm actually using a shield bash now attack. So that is it's just fair. And I wish that more enemies were like that in Dark Souls 3. It's, you know, a bit of a pet peeve of mine, and it shows that it's possible. They still work by Dark Souls 3's rules and stuff, but you don't feel like such an ass fighting them all the time. Anyway, we finally got here. We also got something incredibly important, a stretch out gesture. I have no idea why this is tied to the leathersmith, even though of course there's a lot of leathers here, and why you also get an undead bone shard unless you're literally burning his own bones, which in that case, thank you very much. It's very useful and super appreciated. We could go here and finish the area. I know many people do that and then wonder why it's so insanely short. It is rather short for like a final branching path area, but there is a bit more meat to it, and I should rest at the bonfire. What am I doing? It happened again. Really stupid. Now I finally know why some streamers do that, because they're so into their playing for the audience, even though I'm not streaming, as I said before. Um, but you have to keep things moving and you have to be entertaining. And I think I'm slowly figuring it out, and then I keep making mistakes where I always would scream at the screen if other people are doing them. Like, not literally, I'm not one of these people. You know, I'm far too chill for that. Anyway, this part is not the part I'm talking about, which people keep missing. But I do think actually that falling out there is something which comes up sometimes, which people say that I didn't even see that. I hate this corner because there is nothing here. This might be an invasion spawn in point. I don't know. I've invaded here a few times and I don't think that I've ever spawned in here, or maybe I forgot. Anyway, there's nothing here to reward you for exploring, and this does look like you could jump down there at some point, or maybe you trick yourself over there and it just doesn't. None of this down there has any collision. You will just always fall into a death wall and perish miserably. We'll get to you later. And one thing first, I have to trigger this boy here. He's also on the wall, I think, but yeah. It's a different weapon. Very fun weapon. But I mean, of course it's fun, it's a hammer. And I really liked using it before. I had a lot of success in PvP with it too, because people have a hard time dealing with hammers. It's got also a fun weapon art, all around good stuff. One of the few genuine no strings attached, looks cool and actually is cool weapons in Dark Souls 3, so that's very nice. I mean, the follower javelin, for example, is cool that you can throw it. It's a fucking stick, you know? Just saying. It could be cooler. It could be cooler. Anyway, another thing where you think like, I could just jump down here or go down there where all of this area is, but nah, and you probably also shouldn't go down there because it's all just a gigantic trap. It's a little jumbly, a little messy, but I think it's okay. It's just a little confusing for a first time. I died a bunch just trying to see where I could actually go. This one here is a neat little, very typical crystal lizard trap because there's a hole in front of him. So probably better go here. Again, very reminiscent of that part in the catacombs, not catacombs, but Smoldering Lake. And of course, both of them referencing the area in the depths. And something which is also similar to the depths is that if you just run up here, well then you might miss this other drop here. So that is also pretty fun. And let's take out the Crystal Lizard. Forgetting that running R2s are jump attacks, I really should be doing these more, especially with the hammer. It's just something which doesn't come up that often, and with all the other souls sometimes play, you know, it's right but left, very fun, very good. I actually have to recommend that. And another rusted gold coin, they really are in short supply, but I mean, just a fucking second. Gold can't rust. I mean, just saying here, should really have noticed this earlier as a chemist. Maybe it's in the description. Wait, let's check some deep lore. Maybe it's like this is actually not gold, obviously, because otherwise it couldn't rust. Rusty old gold coin. Yeah, I mean the biggest problem is probably that it's not actually gold. Then sad, very sad. Down there you see, of course, a lot of these ladies here. And the blooming purple moss clump should maybe have clued you in that there is fuckery going to happen. Just gonna ignore that though. Say hello. Watch for the build-up. And yes, the fuckery is that this time it's super poison. It's actually toxic. Which means that if you fall down there through one of the holes where the crystal lizards are, you're gonna have a really, really, really not fun time. Because this time, finally, the poison actually does something. It does appreciably drain your health bar, and you probably want to heal through it quick. Fortunately, these guys don't actually deal that much damage. Gender neutral guys, of course. So it's not a super big issue. It's not an instant death trap of any way. One of these gems which is super appropriate. I guess the Blessed Gem in the Cathedral is too. But the Sample Gem up in the Jailer's room, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. Ah, well, because I'm not actually running, it wasn't a jump attack. Clever. And that should be it. I mean, at least you get something for your troubles after the biggest curse fuck you room. Of course, afterwards you get the curse bite ring. I really could have used that 2 rooms ago. Seriously, Dark Souls 3, please. But it's always the case, isn't it? Even a Purging Stone. Amazing. But yeah, there are some more enemies that deal curse, but I think the bigger problem with them is the sheer amount of normal damage they do. Nope. Or was it a jump attack? Oh, I think I figured out at some point that jump attacks do actually the same amount of damage as a normal R2, or even less, which is strange and confusing, but I guess that's the kind of game we're playing here. At least it's a one hit anyway. So this also looks like it's gonna be a super annoying swamp, and why are there 2 swamps in my game, Dark Souls 3? But in reality that's it. Like, unless you come here more often, because you keep missing items or whatever, which would be the case, you never have to deal with the swamp again. It's nice. On the other hand, why even bother then? But I guess it's better than having a gigantic swamp which nobody actually likes, so you have to take your plus and your minuses. Gonna get one of them, only one of them. Stop spawning in all the time, it weirds me out. Nope, that is not just one of them. These guys are absolute fuckers, and I think it's also gender neutral guys again. But contrary to some other big enemies, I think they're actually somewhat manageable to deal with, if taking a while. Come on, do it! Yeah, finally. Not finally, thankfully. Because they just have mountains of health unless you hit their sweet spot, weak spot in the belly. But otherwise, they also have somewhat telegraphed attacks enough that I don't hate dealing with them as much as I hate dealing with some other enemies. Wow, this was almost full. I mean, it did a lot of damage, so good in that regard. I feel that their moveset is very reminiscent of the Ogre's moveset in Dark Souls 2. Which is fun, because after a while you also learn how to fight them. Oh, die. Finally! Wonderful. Okay, almost out of Estus now, but this is not the Eleonora. Okay. Ah. Didn't even realize that this did an actual first time. Yeah. Cool. Now this tactic actually shows its teeth. We can remove the frostbite and then immediately frostbite again. Oh, it even has the sit down attack. Didn't even realize it, because so far I usually should cheese them through the door. And can you blame me? This is working rather well though. Oh, very nice, very nice. Finally I can feel like a skilled boy again. Okay. One more Estus, one more guy to deal with. Actually going to put the blooming purple here. Can I do it? I can do it, wonderful. Okay, cool. So, one more to deal with here. And there is one more upstairs. Just do it one-handed, don't switch around all the time. Far better that way. this one deals a lot of damage. This one is a very nasty grab attack, but I think we're done. No! Why are we not done? How are we not done? Whew, Jesus Christ. Making it tense, Simon, huh? And this is how you get the Eleonora. 3 purging stones, amazing. Anyway, the Eleonora is an interesting weapon because it's an axe. Yes, takes a lot of strength, but it is fine for an axe. But it also has a skill that makes allies have life leech, which sounds like fun to use in a co-op context. Other than that, it's a bulk standard axe, and I always find these a little bit boring. Like, I mean, it does what I want. It has a semi-sweep attack, though the range is pitiful, of course, and an overhead swing, which deals more damage, so cover all the bases here with the basic moveset I crave. But on the other hand, that's all it does, because, of course, there is nothing special in the moveset, because the L2 is this. It's funny. And that's basically it for the Eleonora. Moving on. But I guess if you like get it very early by muling or something and then do a playthrough with it, always using this, and then you carve up bosses and normal enemies, might be fun, might be fun. Put on the skill FP consumption reduction ring, which I did, and then you can use it all the time and help out your friends. As I said, could be cool. There's one more of these, but we are not going to bother because we are having to go back into that room anyway. For now, we're gonna have to deal with the guy using the fun weapon. He can super fuck you up, by the way. Where did the last one come from? But I have a bigger hammer. This is how you get some of the best sorceries. Not the best, but some. This is also where you get... No, not poison arrows. Where is it? Isn't it also around here? I think a mimic has it very shortly. Ah, whatever. I thought he also in this vicinity was the best sorceress catalyst. Anyway, didn't find this my first time through. Had to look it up. It's a little tough to see this, I think, unless you, of course, check out the messages. If you do, however, found an old friend. We even have what it takes to free him. Amazing.
Ah, you are a saint.
I am.
Once again, you are my valiant savior. I, Siegfried of Katarina, express my deepest gratitude.
Give me something good.
Take...
Wow, this is actually something incredibly good. This is the earliest slab you can get unless you go into the DLC, I'm pretty sure.
Please. I've my own road to take.
Oh yes,
and a duty to fulfill. That is soon.
Looking forward to it. And this is, of course, what you use for farming stuff, so it's very important to go here. And it's a little dickish that they hit it so well. Just saying. And there are not even any very good signposts for this, I don't think. That maybe if you look through here and realize that there might be a room behind it, but it's very hard to see, and I don't 100% agree with it. Anyway, one more dip up here. Something very weird. Just this. Two jailers just hanging out here, invisibly. Maybe, if you're fighting the giant down there, because he is down there, maybe they can lower your max HP from this window and you'll be like, what the fuck is going on? Maybe if you go through here, they will come from behind. I don't know. Never tried it. To be quite honest, I read the warning and followed it immediately. And yeah, this is where you get the final sets of keys to. I think this is actually the one that unlocks Carla, right? And there is one more set of key down there. I don't know. Anyway, can you actually shoot him in the dick from here? Can. Will he now fuck you up? That is a good question. No? Let the dick shooting commence. How much? Oh. Then forget about that plan, I guess. Definitely not going to deal with this fat ass with 0 Estus. We're just gonna go there again from above. And then one more drop down here for a few items. You know, very important of course, if you're a miracle inclined person. Old sorcerer stuff. Ah, there it is. Oh yeah, of course. Well, no, not now, not now. I really don't feel like doing that. Great. Amazing. Said we would be back for this item. Here is, by the way, an invader spawn point. This is the one which clued me into their existence. And here we are, back at the beginning of the Profaned Cathedral. Capital. Capital! Why is this such a hard word for me to remember? Cool. So, what to do? We have to farm one mimic, kill another mimic, and finally kill a giant, and then use a bunch of jail cell keys. Yeah, let's do all of that. Not necessarily in this order though. And very first thing I'm going to do is spend the souls again. Because man, those were hard earned. Shaping up to be a productive recording session again. I like it.
Welcome. Very that.
Good, we're done with vitality for now. Now let's increase some vigor and then up to...
Farewell.
Because I don't want to fall behind the curve in that aspect. I forgot to check how much I need. That's probably just another 2 of these. Oh wow, these are the big ones.
Very that.
Doesn't matter.
Farewell,
If everything works well again, then I will just keep adding these for the next level. If something goes wrong, then whatever, doesn't matter too much. Like here. Dealing with the giant next. Is it actually the best way? No, I should go by the dungeon. Also, should be doing this. Completely forgot. Is there a short way to the giant down there? Up there? No, not really. No. No, fuck it. Let's take this route instead. Oh, sorry, that happens sometimes. I don't want to go to the giant first because I think there is another set of keys which I need from down there, so that I can do the cleanup in one fell swoop. And we will also get another shortcut. Yeah. So this time we will use the jailbreak as a shortcut for sure. Can you not plunge attack one of these guys? Yeah, you can. Sometimes the plunger take is absolutely worthless. Sometimes means pretty much all the time. Should have comboed. Didn't combo, don't know why. Anyway. I actually think I'm going to farm the Mimic a bit. Just a bit. Maybe we'll get what we want immediately. Wow, my hammer made me nervous. Yes, now we do have the gold serpent ring. Now I'm going to equip the Lloyd's Talisman again, which is not the Lloyd's Talisman in this game, but details. Can buy more of them from patches, I'm pretty sure. Okay. What you do with them is throw them at the Mimic. Mimic yawns. For whatever reason, it's been a thing since Dark Souls 1. You can get the very valuable Estus shard, and then I think you just give him a punch. He goes back to sleep. Then you can try again. You do this until he gives up, possibly. Another item he can drop, which every Mimic can drop, which is a symbol of avarice, which is a Mimic hat, which you can use for farming stuff. Could also get this as a random drop from every Mimic, but this way you can basically guarantee it at some point. It only takes you an Undead Hunter charm each time. And because it is a random drop, it is best to have some item discovery gear for that. No, not almost. Throw one more. Almost. Just got myself mimicked here. Okay, whatever. Just wanted to get rid of all of my Undead Hunter jumps for now. And then of course after 5 attempts you always have to go back anyway, because you can only carry 5 of them, because they would be broken otherwise, obviously. Man, I could actually use this. I keep toying with the idea of a pickaxe run in some game. I don't know. Okay, he's asleep again, obviously. I'm going to quickly test the theory if the cat ring will save me. I'm pretty sure it will. But sometimes they have programmed some weird death zones. But no, everything is fine. And before we rumble with the giant, I think I want to activate the shortcut. Just to make things go a little quicker. There is even another mimic here, yeah. I think this one has a super useless. Something like... what could it be? Like some consumable. Human pine resin, I think he has like 3 human pine resins. I mean, we will find out eventually. He might even be a better candidate than the other mimic, come to think of it, but that guy already gave up all his goods, including a very valuable Estus flask. Which reminds me, I haven't burned the unmatched bone shards yet. Little concern. Oh yeah, this is not the shortcut. This is actually a way up here. You can go back inside, and this is the corridor where all the idiots are, and where you can fall down to the giant area again, which is down there. So I don't quite get it, but it is for 9 lightning bolts. Amazing, I love it. This is the way where you initially can come out from, and this means that we can fall down again. Dodge some more rats. And this then should be the way to the shortcut. Yes, it is. Very easily identifiable by the fact that it is an elevator. There is no item fuckery here, I don't think. There we have it. And this leads all the way back to the beginning of the area. Wonderful. See, the dungeon isn't so bad. If you can dodge some enemies that are admittedly a little bit bullshit, but more scary than anything else. You have some jump scares which are cute and nothing else. There's a platform there, but I think there's nothing up and you have a lot of interconnected exploration. And basically, I consider this part of the Profaned Cathedral area a capital area, more or less, because this for me it interconnects a lot. Yeah, or I mean, yeah, of course it does. You could see that, and therefore I don't mind the Profaned Capital itself being relatively short. I think the reds respawn infinitely here. Might be wrong though. Might be right though. The one big problem I have with the Giants, apart from the fact that they should be harder, like, I mean, it's weird for someone to say that, but I think this shouldn't be such an absolute cakewalk. And the one other problem I have is that you don't see you don't get any sense of progress. Yeah, this is so pathetic. Yeah, that's it. So let's keep respawning. So yeah, that's it for the Giant. Ugh, just fuck off. It's not fun. It's super weird because it's very, very rare that any Dark Souls game has actually infinitely respawning enemies. It might be that they stop at some point. I don't think so. Um, but overall, it doesn't really matter too much. Maybe the jail keys are actually in the jail cell later on. Yeah, might be the case. Whatever. Let's get back up. Call this a day for now. I think you can see one item from down here. Not here, of course. Through here, yes. I think you can see an item already, which might be Sigurd's cell, and then you can extrapolate. Oh, there must be some way to get to him. Of course, we've looted it by now, so moot point again. Send up the... Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, well, there's nothing to it then. Where is the fucking lever? Oh, that blends in well. Now you people were probably screaming at me, hey, you had the activate lever prompt, but it was gone so short that I didn't see if it was just a message prompt or not. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Nothing here. Yeah. Nothing there. It's a little weird again. It's not like you can shortcut here by trying to fall down beforehand. Well, that would be funny actually if that door was open and the elevator was down, and if you did some clever platform you could skip a large part of the area. I think this would be cool. Alas. Oh yeah, the jailer's queuing opens most of them, and then you will find the key to Carla's cell somewhere. Yeah, something like this. Something like this. It does mean that we have to re-explore here and re-kill stuff, but as I already amply demonstrated, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. It's still not a one-hit. So, we want... Now it happens to me. Got the prepare to try curse and clicking all the time when I just want to R1. These three fucks come. But I've already started my attack animation. Heck off. Let's take out this guy before it becomes an issue. Now, if I remember correctly, it was down the first set of stairs, aka the one which you don't take the bridge for. So here, not upstairs, I keep thinking it's upstairs, but it's downstairs. This is the easier one with only one jailer. Never lets me fall down. Okay, wonderful. Oh, cool. Might be fun to wear at some point. People swear by the mask. Don't care for it. I can actually open from both sides. Oh well. I think this one here maybe. Prison Chief Ashes. there is one more closed door over there. So I have to get back up over the bridge. This is the true reason to hate the jail. Getting turned around and confused by what amounts to an H shape with 4 corridors. Like, it should be hard to find a way around this, but somehow it is. Doesn't help if you can't actually shortcut down here, because it's easy. I wouldn't. I mean, if you could shortcut down there, then people wouldn't get stumped by how to get on the other side of this door, eh? This way we can avoid all the jailers in there. Now, where was the door? Oh, this is actually open. Of course it is. Killed the screen here. Am I doing this for nothing? He asks. Maybe Carla's cell key is even deeper. I was bad at remembering things. Is it in the capital itself? I don't know, but it's not here. Let's hand in some things at Firelink. And then let's just finish out the area. Because we've been making such good progress. Didn't kill the mimic with the staff. Can't do that off screen. It's just sorcerer stuff, which I will not use.
Graciously,
Two of them. Alrighty. So, what do we get? We get Santa set, as I said. Get Carla set. Oh, get it from there. Oh, okay. And I should buy this, I think, because it's cool. Anything else? Just the 2 sets? Maybe? I've seen this before. I think the 3 refined gems are actually also from the DLC, Ash. I'm pretty sure that you get some other stuff like human pine resins and maybe the hunter charms. Oh, yeah, I should stock up on these for mimic farming. It takes care of things rather nicely.
Be sure.
But this is just an effect of me never using consumables, so I'm never like, oh my god, finally I can buy this and this. Don't forget. Do I have 2? No. Okay, oh, the Estus shards, and I want to have more Ashen Estus anyway. Thank you for reminding me, brain.
Just what?
This is the true Dark Souls experience. Constantly forgetting that you have stuff which you can use and which will be a great asset to you.
But you're
yeah, now you can finally infuse things with, I think, no, crystal we could do before. Dark? Maybe not. I think dark is now blood and hollow. Blood and hollow we could do earlier, right? Ah, whatever. You can look up this shit on the internet.
Pretty be careful.
I don't care. So, can we rescue Carla? Nah, we can't. Let's go to the end of the Profaned Cathedral then. I think she will be just safe and sound until you kill Princess. And I think I keep asking myself the same question on where her fucking key is every time. No. Her key is just a jailer's keyring. Just looked it up. This is why I went down the ladder so slowly. Haha. Okay, then I guess we will just get her. I kept thinking that you need a different key for her, but I think the problem is that you need a different key for Sigvard. This is my issue. Let's get this item, it's a good idea. Let's fight this guy up here, it's a good idea. Only good ideas. I think I will have to come back here anyways. Then. Yeah. I forgot a lot more Ashen Estes. I'm the greatest. Yeah, I will have to come back here anyway. Then I will clear out this area and then rescue Carla. Just in case. Oh man, you guys are so incredibly threatening. I completely forgot that this guy fell down. Of course he does, but yeah. More magic find stuff. There's a lot of coins here, come to think of it. Wonder if that has any significance, what with the riches and stuff. Never thought about it. But, oh, I have the floor. I don't care. Skipping this dialogue. That damage though. Insane. Why did I only deal half damage the first hit? Nobody knows. Hi guys. Stop throwing fireballs at me. Would be appreciated. I said stop throwing fireballs at me, don't throw fireballs at me. There must have been some critical misunderstanding in our communication. Not the dagger which steals FP. Wow, the handmaid's dagger, exactly. I think it's one of the worst weapons in this game. If I remember correctly, there are some top 10 lists and sometimes I even watch them when I'm really bored at work but don't tell my supervisor. And most of them agree, the handmaid's dagger is not a good weapon. More coins, amazing. Is that like it's supposed to steal FP, and I guess it does, but it does so at such a slow rate that you might as well not bother and have a simple weapon equipped instead. And I mean, you still have to stab enemies with it, so you basically have to find one weak ass bitch to heal yourself up with. And it's good that it deals absolutely no damage, because otherwise you might even kill your target before it gives you an appreciable amount of FP, which is actually a joke because that's never going to happen. Wasn't there another gargoyle ambush here? We'll see. Ah, here we go. There we go. Spear ones are far more dangerous, I think. The hammer ones. On the other hand, if you have a hammer yourself, nothing is really dangerous. I think it's actually the spear which is like legitimately everybody agrees super good in PvP. Mostly because it is a spear, and you can get some sick damage if you put some effort into your casting stats, because it scales a lot with them. I mean, the fire part of it does. How do you survive this? It's unfair, you should... Oh my god, I could upgrade the hammer. I have forgotten to upgrade the hammer. I am a complete and utter fool. Please shower me in flames from my transgression. Oh, dagger! Oh my god, what is this? Oh. I'm feeling so attacked right now. Another one. Today, memes. Anyway, there's a mimic there. Oh, fuck. I knew I shouldn't have. Can we? Yes! Took a gamble and paid off. Never should take gambles, kids, not in this game. And you get the Great Sheet of Glory, which is anyway. I think it lowers your stamina regeneration in exchange for being an okay great shield. Whatever. We're just gonna do another attempt here, another 5 of the charms, why not? Where is it? It's the one I can't use, right? And gold ring. Because in every playthrough I do, it's always like I forget doing this until the last mimic is dead, or maybe until all but one mimic are dead, because I think, at least in Dark Souls 1 it was like that. If you kill the very last mimic, then it's a guaranteed drop if you haven't gotten it yet. Might not be the case here in Dark Souls 3, but either way, if you kill the last mimic, then you already have done most things in the game, after all, and maybe you want to farm something a little earlier. So you really should do this ASAP, because you will save yourself a lot of trouble if you want to farm something. Just got me confused that there was actually going to be something in there. At least aiming is not a big issue. No, bad message. Stop making me think there is an item in there. Guess you could use this method to kill them too if you had enough charms. But you can't. Alas. Okay. Not you either. We've left 2 of your friends alive. And with those we can do it. Oh. Wow. Huh. I thought you had to use fists because they did deal enough damage. But apparently you can just use any weapon. Well, this makes it trivial then. Okay, no extra drop. Too bad. Too bad. Wasn't me, didn't do anything. And here. Forgetting. This is finally a legitimate chest. Forgot how those looked like. Anyway, it's not super lucrative going back here for all of this garbage, but it is what it is, and this is the Profaned Cathedral. This is the end of the area. If you think that it's a little short, I don't blame you, but as I said, I consider the prison basically, even though it's called Irithyll prison, basically a part of it, because it interconnects so much, and if you treat it like that, then it's a legitimately long endgame area with a lot of things to find. You have the poison swamp, which is optional. I guess if you find the jailbreaker's key method very early on, skip half the prison with that, and then you do not go into the poison swamp because you don't find it, then yeah, then it's pretty short. And the boss is nothing special at all, which we're also going to see soon.
Very then.
I'll finish with that today. But details.
Farewell.
I don't think it's so bad. I think it's perfectly fine. I think I want to a lot more Estus and upgrade my weapon. Haha! Thank you, brain, again. It rarely happens, but sometimes you have some good ideas. This is far more sensible, especially for invasions. Now let's get this bad boy up here in levels 8.
Pretty be careful like that.
The upgrade system is so fucked in this game. 1, 2, then 4 and 8. Why not 3 and 4? Why do you hate me having fun? Just let me upgrade my fucking weapons and diversify a little bit. We're not in Bloodborne anymore. Let's not even talk about the slab situation. I mean, yeah, there are like 10 slabs in the game, but they're still limited. So I'm always thinking, maybe I don't even like that weapon that much. Maybe I don't want to take it up to +10. Maybe +9 is fine, but then I never specialize fully. because they are limited. It fucks with my brain. I've gotten better at using fucking mega elixirs in Final Fantasy, but it's still, it's bad, okay. We want to take the shortcut, yeah, the other shortcut. So, over the bridge. Oh, he's here, oh wonderful, then I don't have to sneak by him here. And down here and to the left. Of course we're gonna take that again once we come back with the dragon gesture. So, should remember to send it up again. By the way, how's the equipment load? Still not ideal, but I think due to having more vitality I can just keep the torch equipped for now, which is actually probably a good idea as long as I keep using the hammer. Nice. 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 Okay. Let's just say fuck it. It should be possible to just run. Worth it. Can't let the shiny live. Stupid knockback. Anyway, Gina's keyring. Wonderful. It is far less complicated than I think. Hello.
Good. Yours, but it. Oh.
Cool. Wonderful. Kill me. Show me your moves. Please just, yeah, wonderful. This is what can kill you. They stomp you down and brand you, and then you are basically dead because you have lost 2/3 of your health already. Not super fun, but it is what it is. Anyway, that was just to make sure, because I was 100% on that. That you could, that I save her before I kill Yorm. Usually I kill Yorm very late, just because he's so easy and I can do him whenever, but I want to finish out the episode with him dead, and so I don't put it off forever. It's fine, it's fine. I have a cat ring, perfect. I knew I had it equipped for some reason. The reason is there's one more item which I missed in my initial playthrough. Don't know why, because I usually look out for these kind of things, but I think that I was also under the impression that this area was just done. Like, that there is nothing much more to do here. Which is almost true. But it's not as bad, as I said, but it's a bit more segmented when you do it the first time, and you're just like, I don't know about this, don't know about that. Will they be able to shoot in here? No? Okay. Then what I am going to do is try to do one more invasion, because I like doing that, just because it might be fun and stuff, to try and get myself human, otherwise I will ember up, and I think I will just summon some guy, because there is nothing really super interesting to show off with Yorm, because I don't have souls. I guess I could try throwing javelin in his face. Oh, let's do that. Let's do that. And see if that actually works. Do I have the Ashen Estus? Do I have the Ashen Estus? The invasion will fail anyway, probably. Then let's get back to the Farron Ring. And we will have some help anyway. Because he made sure that this quest will not fail. If you kill Yorm before saving him from the jail cell, then it will, obviously. You miss out on a slab, and you're very sad.
Yorm, old friend. I, Siegward of the Knights of Katarina, have come to uphold my promise.
But we didn't miss out on it, so now we have Siegward. Okay, so let's see if this works. You should be able to lock onto his head. Yes. Distractify him, please. This is fine. Now maybe? Maybe next next time he stuns him. Yeah, this does some appreciable damage. Okay. It's really hard to hit though. Hey, Botto. Where am I? Imagine poking at his ankles forever. Ha! Yes, yes, yes! Awesome. And really should have killed him in my opinion. For the fun factor. Didn't, but whatever. Secret, this is your fight. He missed! He missed! Terrible. Alright. Very well done, my friend, very well done. That was fun, throwing the javelin. And yeah, if you hit his head enough, you can actually visceral him. Which is different from the stun the Storm Ruler does on him.
It seems I am in your debt once again.
Nah, you did all the work, buddy.
My thanks. I could have not kept my promise without you.
Pretty sure you could have.
Now, for a final toast.
This is important.
To your valor, and my old friend Yorm. Long may the sun shine. Well, I'm going to have myself a little nap.
You earned it.
The only thing to do, really, after a nice toast.
Maybe a
You
second
are a
one?
true friend. Best of luck with your duty.
With yours, I guess. Alrighty-tighty. So, what you're supposed to do in this fight, if you don't have Sigvard do all the work for you and don't have a ranged weapon from the DLC, is run up here and get the Storm Ruler in a very weird and super out of place Demon Souls reference, in my opinion, which I got because I watched a lot of Demon Souls Let's Plays, like probably more than Dark Souls Let's Plays by this point. As you can see, every character can wield this, no attribute required at all, no scaling though. It does have some scaling, but it's not good. And then you can do what Sigvard does and use the stance skill without needing any FP. Right? The problem with this is, if you do this, then you do this, and it does make very obvious wind effect, you know? See? It's fine. It does use FP, yeah, but it doesn't matter, it always makes the wind effect. And this one too. So, the Storm Ruler in Demon Souls, you hit R2. This is obviously not it, but here, of course, yeah, you have this, and then you have wind. Okay. And I think I use this on the giant's ankles and make him fall down eventually, because, you know, you're using the wind here and supposed to slay the giant with wind. Okay? Makes sense to me, right? Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. You saw Sigvard do it. Why did he take his sweet ass time to unleash this giant wind blast? How do you do it? Well, this is how you do it. Now this makes more sense, right? Yeah, But how was I supposed to know this? That you have to hold this down for 3 seconds and then finally it charges up. No other weapon art in the entire game works like this. Nothing at all would suggest to me that you have to charge it up like that. I mean, I tried charged R2s. Yeah, this doesn't do shit. I was so confused by that. I had to look it up, and even then it was like, yeah, just use the weapon art. It's just, Jesus fucking Christ, people. How is this obvious? How was I supposed to know this? And I mean, I know that I'm not the only one with this problem. I mean, some other people apparently had none of them, which is fine, but I sincerely resent this kind of non-difficulty, because it's a puzzle, yeah. First piece of the puzzle, you get the Storm Ruler. Second piece of the puzzle, you equip the Storm Ruler in the boss fight. All of this is fair, it's fine. He's really slow and he's really easy, even if you don't stun lock him to death all the time together with your buddy. But then you have to figure out, okay, read the Storm Ruler's description while you're running around. It's still fair. It's fine. I'm fine with this, you know? I've just hide out here and it's like, okay, this is what I used to say. Giants are cool, wonderful. Maybe even die at some point. It's okay if you die to a boss. It's not mandatory death or anything. You could figure this out while you're running around. Okay, so you figure out that you need to use the Storm Ruler. You figure out that you need to use its weapon art. And then the weapon art itself has to be used in a way which no other weapon art is used at. And this is where I draw the line. This is where I think it's complete and utter nonsense. Because they can't expect you to figure that out just like that. I mean, if you did, great, wonderful. Appreciate that you didn't have a frustrating time here trying to figure out how that bloody thing works. Didn't happen for me. Soured my experience in what could have been an awesome set piece fight. I don't even mind that Yorm is easy. It's okay. It's okay to have an easy fight. I don't even like the boss fights that much. Some of them are really awesome. Yeah. Some of them, however, I struggle a lot, and I like the exploring far more. So my biggest issue with the boss fights where I'm having a lot of trouble with them, even though
Welcome
I
elsewhere.
know it will be
Very
real,
rare.
real
Then
good
touch
feeling
the
when I
twig
kill them
nourished.
finally. My biggest problem is that they keep me from exploring more. So they're basically
Farewell,
gating the
Asheville.
fun part of the game. And this is my biggest issue with when a boss fight takes too long and is too hard. This one gives 1000, right? No.
Welcome.
Someday I will
Very
know.
then take.
Whatever. Done with my goal for now. For the health, though, I think 1000 is 27. Yeah, let's do it 27 and then let's go strength to 50. It's fine.
Farewell, Admin.
Which level will we be at then? 63 and another 16, which would put us at 79. 79. Yeah, for the finished build. The rest can go in endurance, even more vigor, and more vitality if I really need it. That's good. Satisfied with that. Let's get some more undead hunter charms. Work at that. Maybe farm some mimics
Ashen
off
one.
screen. I might do that. And yeah, that's it for now. Oh yeah, one final thing, of course. And this is the actual end to Sigvard's questline. Thank you very much for your attention.